Today I'm drafting a 2-dart skirt block. I first draw a straight line on the horizontal, and this line will establish my skirt length. Measurements are given. Secondly, I draw a vertical line, and this line will establish my width. I take my total desired length and I minus my waistband width. In this case, my waistband width is 1¼ inches. I do it for the one side and I do it for the next as well. And I connect the 2 dots to form a vertical line. Next, I establish my hip depth. My hip depth minus waistband width. Put a dot, do it on one side, do it on the next. Hip depth minus waistband width. Connect the dots. That's my hip depth. Now I find my quarter hip, which in this case is 9 3/4 minus a quarter. So that comes out to 9½. Put a dot at the bottom, do it at the top, put a dot at the top, and draw a straight line connecting the dots. So now this is my side seam for the front waist on the quarter body, okay? Now I'm going to measure towards the center front from the side seam waist intersection 3/4 inch. That's for my indentation. And I'm going to take my French curve and draw a curved line from the waist or from the hip towards the waist at that dot. Okay? Now that's my front skirt hip curve, also the side seam between the hip line and the waistline, okay? Now I'm gonna find the measurement of the side seam waist intersection and the waist center front, and I'm gonna third it. So I divide it into 3. I do it at the top as well at the bottom, and I draw a straight line from the hip to the dot, and I do it for the next. That line establishes 1 dart, and the next establishes another dart. Okay? And I draw a straight line and I measure down 4.5 inches for my dart length. Okay, 4.5 inches. And put 1/2 inch on one side and 1/2 inch on the next side, okay? Do it for both lines, and there I've established my darts. So connect dots to dot. That's the dart. So I have 2 darts now for my front skirt. I measure out from the side seam at hemline 1/2 inch, measure out the same 1/2 inch at waist and side seam at the top, and I draw a straight line, and I'm using dash lines. That's gonna establish the side seam for the back skirt. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna measure from the side seam waist intersection on the back towards the center front 3/4 of an inch to get my indentation for the back. Take my French curve and I blend the line from the hip to the waist, connecting a curved line from the hip to the dot, okay? Now I'm going to take the total measurement of the back side seam waist intersection to the center front waist intersection, and I'm going to third it. So divide it by 3. I do it at the top, do it at the bottom and the hip line, and I should get 2 lines, okay? Do it at the top for the second line. Now I connect the dots. So this dot establishes the first line, the line for the first dart, and this line is the line for the second dart, okay? And I measure down 5 1/4 for the dart length, and I measure 1/2 inch on both sides of the line, a straight line, for a total of 1 inch. So the dart is 1 inch. Both darts are 1 inch wide, okay? And I connect the dots. Okay, so now I have both darts for the back. Now I'm doing my indentation for the back. So I measure down from waist, 1/2 inch, and I take my French curve and I connect the curve line from this indentation to the side seam waist intersection for the back. Okay, and that's done, and I measure down 3/8 of an inch. This is for the front, this indentation is for the front. I take my French curve and I connect, I blend the line from this line to the front side seam waist intersection, and that's my indentation. I'm just cleaning up my line here, and the draft is complete. We have a complete draft now. Okay, thank you so much.